Morning students, the other day we started with the chapter Bravo Manju, and we have read that Manjula was born with a deformity. She was having only two fingers on each hand, but that did not stop her from following her interest, and she was interested in being a great artist. And on her 13th birthday, she was overwhelmed to receive the gifts that she wished for. All the gifts were related to her interest. She received a book named Painting Step by Step, and Manjula studied the new book from cover to cover and soon used up all her papers. She knew for good watercolor paintings, she needed special watercolor paper, and for good watercolor paintings, she needed good special watercolor paper, and this paper was expensive. But she asked her mother anyway. In any case, she has to approach her mother for the expensive paper. It's not a matter of few sheets, said Mr. Parilkar wearily when Mrs. Parilkar spoke to him after dinner. And for such an expensive paper, Mrs. Parilkar spoke to her husband, Mr. Parilkar, to give the money. But he refused. He said, it's not a matter of few sheets, but after watercolors, it will be oils, then canvases and what not. And after watercolors, it will be oils, or she'll demand for one thing or the other after this. And it is going to be very expensive. Why doesn't she learn something more useful? And he suggested that she should learn something more useful than painting. According to him, painting was not a useful activity, like cooking or stitching. What was more useful, cooking or stitching? Because Mr. Parilkar thought that his daughter can never be a great artist with those two fingers. With those two fingers of hers, she'll never become an artist. Please, cried her mother. The mother did not like father talking about Manjula's two fingers. Don't say that ever again. Manjula, who had heard the conversation. Unfortunately, Manjula overheard the conversation between father and mother. Returned to her room, and she was really discouraged by her father's word. She returned to her room. She bundled up the watercolors. Immediately, she tied up the watercolors and the three brushes and tucked them away into the farthest corner of the cupboard and kept them at the distant corner of the cupboard. Mother, she said the next morning, and the next morning she approached her mother, who was working in a kitchen. Do you need some help? And she asked. She offered her help to her. Do you need some help in cooking? Why, Manju? Her mother looked at her in surprise. And her mother looked at her in a surprise. But why she's asking for her? Why she's offering for her help for cooking? Glimpsing the pain in her eye. And when the mother looked at her daughter, she could notice the pain in her eye. Because, said Manjula in a very firm voice. She was not shaking when she was saying a voice as she could manage, and this firm voice she was trying to manage, though she was very shaky from inside because her dreams had been shattered. As she could manage, because I stopped painting and I think cooking is a useful thing. And she said, because I have given up painting and I think cooking is a useful activity than painting. But why? Amol was shocked. Amol was also, who was Amol? Amol was his brother. So he was also standing there. But Amol said, why? I thought you would enter the on-the-spot painting competition in November at my school. And Amol said that I thought you'll be entering on-the-spot painting competition that's going to be held in the month of November at my school. You would have easily bagged the first prize, and I'm sure you would have easily won the first prize. Manjula was through with art, but Manjula had given up art forever. She had given it up for good. She had given it up for something good. However much it hurt, however much. But this actually hurt very much. That's all for today. We'll continue later.